Hi guys, welcome to Watch and Learn. Today you're going to meet someone who I work with. She's one of the best female leaders you will ever find. She's so much fun and she's so inspirational. I like to call her a warrior and not a survivor, even though she's fought this big battle with ovarian cancer. She's taught me so much in this entire journey. I have been watching her. Even though we were so busy with our lives, she never let us know that she is fighting such a big battle. And I'm so happy to introduce you all to Caroline. Thank you so much for coming on Watch and Learn series. So just to give you a gist of, you already watched it. I'm sure you already watched my
Very
series.
familiar
with it. She really encourages me on my social media page, so I really love the support that I get. But Caroline, we've been having this conversation for quite some time, and I was so happy that you also wanted to be a part of this, because we want to reach out to a lot of people who are fighting cancer. You fought the battle. Right now, how do you feel?
Right now, I feel great because I think it's been a journey, and for me, like just reaching, I wouldn't say the end, but I think like a significant milestone, that on its own is a great feeling.
So it's mainly to do like a milestone. You have to take it one day at a time. How does it work? Because we hear a lot about cancer. We hear a lot of people talk about cancer. But for me, my experience with you was completely different.
I like to break them up into milestones because that's the only way I feel like I can basically manage it and manage it closely. So yes, I mean, to answer your question, I love to think about it that it comes in like sort of big steps or big milestones. For me, I think going through first the operation was a huge milestone. Going through chemotherapy was another milestone. I'm now on my post-treatment medication. I know it's not gonna be easy because I still have a lot ahead of me, but at least like for me, it's like sort of the big or the most difficult part has been over.
I think the main thing that I noticed, because what I'm loving about having this conversation with you is because I have seen you in this entire 6-7 months that you've gone through this, and there were times when we actually forgot. We forgot that you were under treatment, you have just come back from surgery. So, there is this kind of a sync that you need to have with your mind, your body, and your soul. It all has to be synced. How did it work for you?
Believe it or not, sometimes I used to forget that I'm sick.
So, I remember that.
I think for me, it's always been kind of like in my mind. And I'm a true believer that the power of mind is what gets you there. Yes. And it's really kind of like the one thing that helps syncing your body. It's basically how your brain operates. And for me, it's always been around focusing on the outcome, focusing on, I value life. I feel that life is beautiful and has a lot to offer for every one of us. So I think, when you have the mindset and you have the positive spirit, and your mind will always help you and assist you to get through it. In my case, that was really kind of
the beauty aspect, because my channel is all about makeup and beauty. And
that's why I'm here.
And there was not one day where I would see her hair here and there, or her makeup not on point, and I would be like, how do you do this? How do you do this? So what was that?
I think there was and it's a bit personal, but I think it just relates to the beauty. I care about how I look, and I think it's more of it gives you the positiveness and the motivation.
Yes.
I remember when I wanted to go and do like sort of the operation, this particular operation, they usually cut you out like, and I said, no, that's not gonna happen. And my doctor was like, are you worried about your disease, or are you worried about the scar? And I said, if anything, I need to continue. Even if I have to die out of this, I need to look good. So that was a good starting point. Look, it's going through chemo is not an easy journey. And I know that a lot of the people who will, who've been through it and who's are watching this will probably relate.
Yes.
There's so many days that I feel very low. There's so many days that I felt like I would question even, like sort of, why is this happening to me? Why am I chosen to go through this battle? And it's not easy on me. Of course, there's a lot of aspects physically that you go through, including, one, hair loss, two, like sort of your eyebrows, your eyelashes. I was lucky enough because one, I used the technology which was available. It's called like it freezes the hair cells. It's not been an easy one. You have to sit for 8 hours with it, and so that experience was torturing, but it was worth it. I had fatigue across. There were so many days where I would push myself, just to get out of bed or dress or put makeup on or go out. But I actually pushed myself. I think the one thing that I have to say is that there was continuously that feeling inside me that I'm not going to let this, I won't lose the battle. I'm not going to let this beat me, and I'm actually gonna beat it. From day one, I have this kind of like attitude, and that helped me.
Her telling me about an incident where she did her chemo and she came back home. So her sister told that, I'm going to go shopping, and she jumped out of bed and she said, you know what, I'm coming shopping with you. I don't want to do this. So that's the spirit that Caroline has. I'm sure your shopping bills have gone doubled, but it's all worth it.
But then my family and the friends were very kind enough.
And we would look forward to her to come to work because we wanted to check out what she's wearing that day. Like every day was like, her fashion game is always on point, but during this time it was way,
I think the only added advantage behind this whole sickness was that I lost weight. So
to sum up our conversation, there are people who are suffering, of course, from cancer. There are people suffering from various diseases, depression. What is that one message you want to give out to all the people out there when it comes to wake up, dress up, and turn up?
I think there's one quote or one saying that resonated with me, and I now kind of like usually follow it. I think, there will always be times where we break and we fall, but then I think there's always light at the end of the tunnel where we should rise and overcome and heal. So I think, it's all about positivity, wanting to live, because life is beautiful, has a lot for you, and just be happy.
Just be happy. I think that's the biggest message. Just be happy. It's going to be tough, but it's, you have to find your happiness somewhere. Thank you so much, Kathleen. I'm so happy we did this, and